With number 10, short temper. Meghan and Harry's whirlwind romance has been in the spotlight pretty much since they got together, with fans and haters watching their every move. This couple is used to getting lots of attention, whether they like it or not. When Harry got with Meg, people started watching Meghan like a hawk, dissecting her every move. Naturally, when you're part of the royals, people are going to be more inclined to know what you're like. As someone part of the royal family, displaying strong emotions is not necessarily expected, especially in a public setting. After being invited as a guest speaker at the Power of Women charity benefit, Meghan seemed irritated after pictures of her were published where she was seen lashing out at an employee in the parking garage. The pictures published in the Daily Mail show her looking pretty ticked off while pointing directly at someone. Some believe she was scolding one of her employees, while others say she was letting a parking attendant have it. As a person, I feel like keeping your cool in inconvenient situations is pretty important, but as a royal, I think Meghan should have been more mindful of her position and the amount of eyes on her. But hey, there's always more to a story, right? And it's hard to figure out with pictures out of context. Number 9, complaining. During the royal tours, the smiles and nice photos covered up the behind the scenes of the royal tour, which was apparently a nightmare. This tour is an amazing time to empower others and be a good role model as a royal. It's tradition and is keen for the royal family to build good relations and also good publicity. Only issue is Meghan didn't see the importance in that and has been quoted on multiple occasions by staff for saying, "I can't believe I'm not getting paid for this." Meghan, you got to travel the world and be treated royally. Is that not enough? I get time is money, but if you're doing it for the man you love, wouldn't you just want to do it for him and his family instead of for personal gain? On to number 8, abrasive. Meghan was accused of abrasive behavior towards staff members and diplomats, according to an explosive royal biography. Looking back at the Sussexes' visit to Australia, where they received an amazing reception, Tom Bauer writes, Meghan was allegedly abrasive towards her 4 female staff and even towards the local British diplomats. According to one report, Meghan allegedly threw a cup of tea into the air. Not the tea. He continued by saying that her anger may have been partly fueled by Harry. Every morning he and Meghan turn on their phones to surf the internet, searching for snide comments. That doesn't sound very healthy to me. Australia, has covered in past videos, didn't seem to be as fun as the couple may have hoped, and it's been reported they were feeling down in the down under. Good one, right? On to number 7, dad drama. Similar to Harry, Meghan too has some daddy issues. Meghan has been part of quite a few scandals within her family, and if you've been keeping up with her, you would know how deep the drama runs. Meghan Markle had written a private letter to her dad pleading with him to stop cooperating with the press. In it, Meghan said she felt absolutely blindsided by the pain her father was puppeteered into creating by the media. She said that the lies her father was spreading about her with the help of the media have broken her heart into a million pieces, and claimed that she'd only ever wanted to help him financially, medically, or even with the harassment he claimed to her that he was experiencing, no thanks to the paparazzi. At the end of the letter, Meghan begs Thomas to stop lying, exploiting her relationship with Harry, and stop taking the bait from the press, but he did the exact opposite. Thomas sold the letter to the Mail on Sunday, and the site published it for the world to see even more Markle family secrets. The Duchess later sued Associated Newspapers Limited, owners of the site, for breach of privacy and won. Meghan had a reasonable expectation of privacy, and the site was fanciful to think otherwise. Number 6, sister drama. And that isn't the only member of Meghan's family who has been problematic. Her sister Samantha admitted she was being paid for press. I'll let her words speak for herself in this one. I worked in media most of my life and in broadcasting, so because my sister is suddenly royal isn't grounds for me to stop doing all of that. Let's face it, we all have to survive. Money makes the world go round, so if you want to call that cashing in, that's fine. But I think no one in the media would refuse a paycheck for talking about the royals. As a family, we're not subject to royal protocol. Why would I stop living because we have a family issue going on? Considering the two sisters have never had the greatest relationship, I'm not surprised that she has no problem throwing Meghan under the bus, but I just feel like she could have had more class rather than making these desperate attempts to cash in. Again, not the first time Sam decided to do something newsworthy. One time Samantha parked herself outside of Buckingham Palace. When interviews across the Atlantic just wouldn't do it, Sam made the trip across the pond and showed up at Buckingham Palace in the hopes of reconnecting with Meghan. Funny, since Meghan and Harry actually lived a few miles down the road at Kensington Palace. Number 5, ditching friends for royal status. Is Meghan ditching her friends for royal status? A former friend and colleague who said Meghan ghosted her was Gina Nelthorpe-Crown, who found the future Duchess to be hugely charismatic when they first met in 2014. Gina said she last heard from Meghan when the future Duchess told her she was giving up her career and terminating their contract. Meghan likes to move on, Nelthorpe-Crown told the Daily Mail. Ouch. Meghan felt no type of way about letting go of her former friends. It seems as if a couple people have claimed that she cut them off as soon as she and Harry became serious. I wonder how Harry feels about this. But at the same time, if Meghan knew these people would share her business, then it would only be safer and easier for her to keep her distance from them. Clearly, they're still talking about her and airing out her past, even though she doesn't talk about them or to them anymore. Did the Duchess make the right decision? Let me know in the comments. Number 4, not on good terms with the in-laws. When news of Harry and Meghan's move out of Kensington Palace to strike out on their own first broke in November of 2018, the public and the press came to a unanimous conclusion as to why that would be. Meghan. Everyone pointed the fingers at the new royal, suggesting her alleged difficult Duchess attitude was not just reserved for the staff and had caused a feud between her and Kate. Obviously, all that turned out to be untrue. The Sussexes were expecting a baby and wanted more space than a 2-bedroom apartment they lived in at Kensington. But Meghan and Kate have always had problems. It came out in November that there was a ton of tension between the royals, as Kate and Meghan were not getting along. This meant that Prince Harry and William were not also getting along, and the whole family wasn't seeing eye to eye. This was super hard on everyone, especially the late Queen. Queen Elizabeth was actually so fed up with the drama, she made Kate and Meghan sit down and sort it out. On to number 3, doing what she wants. It seems like Meghan was trying to make a point by going to vote, even though royals are forbidden to do so. After she posted a picture of her wearing a sticker indicating that she had gone to vote, it was not well received in the UK. And even though she is no longer an official member of the royal family, she is not permitted to abide by those laws, but it's definitely savage of her to do this knowingly, since she is married into the family. Many others were not surprised at this act because she has been known to be an activist and stands firmly in everything she believes in, so for her to continue being the same way and not conforming to the laws of a country she wasn't even born in isn't the worst thing in the world. But what do you think? Did Meg take it too far by publicizing her choice to vote? Number 2, mistreating staff. The Times reported accusations that Meghan mistreated her palace aides and staff prior to the 2020 exit. While Meghan denied the allegations, noting in a statement to us in March 2021 that she was saddened by the latest attack on her character, the palace revealed they were investigating the claims. We are clearly very concerned about allegations in the Times following claims made by former staff of the Duke and Duchess. Accordingly, our HR team will look into the circumstances outlined in the article. And to conclude, the statement read, "The palace does not tolerate bullying or harassment in the workplace." According to an insider, the couple's inner circle believes that Buckingham Palace's statement was a direct response to the upcoming interview with Oprah. But what are your thoughts? Do you think they were being genuine about their efforts or trying to get the two to not reveal anything too problematic going on in the household? And finally, number 1, warning for the media outlets. A lot of observers are assuming that Harry and Meghan have something to hide by fighting so hard against the media and filing lawsuits as often as they do. They suggest that Meghan and Harry are attempting to alert the media in advance that they are willing to face legal action in the event that a significant story emerges. What do you think? Is there something this couple is actively trying not to have outlets expose of them? Or are they simply annoyed with the media and aren't shy to set boundaries around what stories they think should or shouldn't be shared? At number 10, Prince Harry has a tendency to be impulsive. He may make decisions quickly and without much thought, which can lead to trouble down the line. Whether it's buying something on impulse or making an agreement he hadn't fully considered, his impulsivity could have caused difficulty had Meghan not known what she was getting into before committing to him. We've seen how easy it is for him to make bad decisions, and maybe we should consider he has a big role in this royal hate. So the next time you see Prince Harry making a rash decision, just remember, it's in his nature. No prince punching necessary. Besides being an expert troublemaker, Harry also has a tendency to be incredibly generous and loyal. He's always been a champion of charities and causes he believes in, proving to be a strong advocate for those less fortunate. He's also intensely loyal to his family, never straying far from his brother's side when times are tough. And even though they're not on good terms, I can guarantee that if William needs Harry, he'll be there in a heartbeat. So while Harry may not always make the best decisions, we've all been there. It's clear that he has a good heart and plenty of love to give. When it comes down to it, we're all just trying to make the best of our lives, and few people do that better than Prince Harry. Whether he's impulsively buying a trinket or changing the world with his charity work, he always stands out. At number 9, some might say Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are a dynamic duo. They have demonstrated resilience in the face of numerous family issues, but it seems as if it's important to understand that it can be a red flag if your partner's family doesn't like you. Sure, you might be the problem, but let's consider the history of the royal family. For one, more than one member of the family has had racist allegations against them. 2, Meghan is mixed race. And 3, when Harry wanted his family to speak out about the injustices happening to Meghan, including harassment from the media outlets, they did not take him seriously, which just sounds like the couple's feelings were invalidated even after Harry pointed out a lot of the harassment has to do with Meghan's ethnicity. Yeah, red flag. I'm too sensitive to deal with this kind of stuff, so in a sense, it's totally understandable why Meghan left the royal household and stepped down from her royal duties. Meghan should have definitely done a bit more research on this family before committing to a lifelong relationship with them, but because she more than likely wouldn't have suffered as much as she has been after becoming the Duchess. At number 8, Prince Harry can be emotional and sensitive, but who isn't? His feelings often get the best of him, and he can be easily hurt by criticism or negative comments. This could have been a difficult aspect of his personality for Meghan had she not known how to handle it when it arises. At number 7, Prince Harry can be irresponsible with money, but again, who isn't? He has a tendency to overspend or make poor financial decisions that could have caused financial trouble for Meghan if she had not been aware of his spending habits. Number 6, Prince Harry can be stubborn and headstrong. He often refuses to back down from arguments or conversations even when he knows he's in the wrong. This trait could have made life difficult for Meghan had she not been able to handle his strong personality. At number 5, Prince Harry can be moody and temperamental. His emotions often dictate his behavior, which could have caused conflict between him and Meghan had she not known how to manage these outbursts. Harry wants the British and American public to believe the royal family, the palace as an institution, or the firm as it is known, and the British media have all conspired to destroy him and his family. This is the modern dystopian twist. He and Meghan Markle provide only hazy explanations for why and how. They are all based on claims that the monarchy is racist, but none specifically mention members of the royal family. Without the benefit of facts, evidence, a trial, or a jury, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex blame the royal fallout on the family and think they should acknowledge that they are racist in every way, whether this is proven or not. Prince Harry is unable to comprehend the largely symbolic but very real role his father, King Charles, plays as the head of the UK's military forces in light of the Commonwealth's growing political, economic, and military threat. By attacking the Commonwealth and amassing personal wealth in the US, some estimates put it at more than $150 million for the Netflix series alone. They are recklessly jeopardizing a global economic alliance that accounts for nearly 10% of the UK's total foreign trade. Harry and Meghan switched from king and country to bling and sundry at some point. Yikes. It seems as if this couple is not considering the lives of other people, especially as someone who has dedicated his whole life to being of service to the public. It seems more as if he's being of service to his family, which is also important, but it's making him look really bad. At number 4, Prince Harry appears to be emotionally immature and does what other people want him to rather than what he wants to. Sure, he may have wanted to leave the royal family for a while, but can we talk about how he never actively chose to expose the family throughout any of his other romantic relationships? Only after meeting Meghan and feeling the need to protect his family did the prince decide to act on his desire. There may be many reasons for this. Prince Harry might be driven to save Meghan because his mother, Princess Diana, couldn't be saved. Because of the negative feelings they have about the royal family and the increased publicity surrounding the book, the couple is seen as codependent, which seems to be the driving force in their relationship. They heavily rely on their experiences in the royal household to make content for platforms that'll provide them with an income. Meghan's husband does not have a strong relationship with his family, and even though both parties are to blame, it has to be a red flag that they were okay with cutting ties with him and Meghan rather than coming to a compromise that would keep them all happy. At number 3, Prince Harry can be possessive of his time and space. He likes things done his way and often doesn't take kindly to being told what to do. This could have caused issues between the two had Meghan not known how to balance his need for control with her own independence. And at number 2, Prince Harry is often too rebellious. But then again, who isn't? He has a tendency to go against authority and pushes the boundaries of what's acceptable, which could have been difficult for Meghan had she not been prepared to handle his behavior. And number 1, the codependent couple. Prince Harry and Meghan have confirmed that their romance seems like something out of a fairy tale despite the royal family's position. The couple talked about how they got together in an interview with BBC in 2018. Harry said, "The fact that I fell in love with Meghan so incredibly quickly was confirmation to me that all the stars were aligned. Everything was just perfect." How poetic. However, particularly since the release of Harry and Meghan, speculation regarding the possibility of a codependent relationship between the two has emerged as a popular topic on Twitter. "They have the most unhealthy codependent relationship I've ever seen," was one user's tweet. "I suspect Harry has been literally transformed by what he believes to be his intense love for Meghan," another person wrote, adding, "completely codependent on her." So what will the future hold for Harry and Meghan? Their marriage will last for several more years is one of the many predictions made about this couple for a variety of reasons, including their likely codependency. These are just some of the toxic traits that Prince Harry possesses and that Meghan should have taken into consideration before marrying him. Though they may have been difficult to manage in the beginning, with understanding and patience on both sides, it's possible for them to make their marriage work. Let's start off with number 10. Goes all the way back to Princess Diana's suspicions. Princess Diana made her first public statement about Camilla in 1997, saying, "The last thing I want to see is my children being manipulated by a spouse who has their own agenda." This was seen as a direct reference to Camilla's ongoing affair with Charles, and Diana's remarks created a media storm. The ensuing scandal involving the royal family and the mysterious third person only grew from there. In 1998, it was confirmed that Charles had indeed been unfaithful to his wife by sending hundreds of love letters to Camilla. On to number 9, using her position for power. In June 1997, Diana warned the public that Camilla was using her position as Prince Charles's wife to advance her own interests. Camilla was accused of using her royal title to land lucrative deals and endorsements, something Diana said she would never do. Number 8, Prince Harry. In his most recent memoir, Spare, Prince Harry's portrayal of his stepmother, Camilla, who is now the Queen Consort, is perhaps the most critical. Despite the fact that Charles and Camilla had been romantically involved on and off for decades, they did get married even after Harry and William begged Charles to reconsider. Prince Harry has not forgotten that Princess Diana referred to Camilla as the third person in her marriage. Harry once said that the tabloids had portrayed her as the villain. In their union, she was the third person and needed to improve her appearance. The two brothers did not consider it was necessary and thought it would do more harm than good. They still wanted their father to be happy, but they never expected them to get married. Harry stated because of the need to rehabilitate her image and the connections she was making within the British press that made her dangerous. Additionally, there was a clear willingness on both sides to exchange information. Given that she was on her way to becoming Queen Consort and that she belonged to a family that was structured in a hierarchical manner, there were bound to be people or bodies discarded in the open. Harry claimed that Camilla and even his father used him or William to get better coverage in the tabloids for themselves. Number 7, control. Diana claimed that Camilla was trying to control Prince Harry and William's lives, taking them on international trips and cutting off their contact with the palace. Diana also accused Camilla of causing a rift between the brothers and said that they had been hurt by her behavior. She believed that Camilla was manipulating Charles to further her own agenda and warned him not to trust her. Diana's comments caused a storm in the media, with many people questioning Camilla's influence over the royal family. In response, Camilla denied all accusations and claimed she was only interested in helping Prince Harry and William succeed in the roles as future kings. She defended herself against any rumors of manipulation or control, saying, "I have always respected them both." Prince Charles also spoke out on the issue, stating that he had full confidence in Camilla's ability to help guide his sons. He went on to say that she was a true asset and had his utmost respect, making it clear he would not be taking Diana's advice in this matter. The controversy surrounding Camilla at the time of Diana's death caused the media to wonder whether their relationship was really as strained as Diana had made it out to be. Today, however, Camilla is an integral part of the royal family and continues to provide support for members of both sides of the family. As such, it appears that Diana's concerns were unfounded and that her comments were more reflective of her own disappointment than an actual issue with Camilla. Despite this, her warnings remain relevant today as a reminder that we must always be cautious when trusting someone with the power to influence the lives of those around us. Number 6, Prince William. Since Charles and Camilla's wedding, Camilla has remained a prominent member of the royal family. However, her stepchildren, Harry and William, have maintained strict boundaries regarding the relationship. Angela Levine, a royal author, says that Prince William has made it very clear that the new queen consort will never be his late mother, Princess Diana. Camilla was very direct about how his children were with Camilla. William made it clear that Camilla is the wife of his father, but not a step-grandmother to his children. The royal couple's 3 children are aware that they have 2 grandfathers but only 1 grandmother, according to William. Angela went on to say William and Harry were respectively 20 and 23 when Camilla became their stepmother officially in 2005. It was more of a social adult that they occasionally saw at royal events. Camilla had never assumed any responsibility for the children of the Cambridges, especially considering the closeness of Catherine's parents, Carol and Michael Middleton. Number 5, negative influence. In 1998, Diana warned Prince William that Camilla was a negative influence on his father, Charles. Diana even went as far as to petition for her sons to get a restraining order against Camilla. Unfortunately, Charles and Camilla continued their relationship until 2005 when they finally married. Diana's warnings were ultimately ignored by the royal family and everyone close to them. This only further damaged her already fragile mental state, leading to Diana experiencing deeper depression and anxiety. In 1997, a series of interviews with journalist Andrew Morton revealed that Diana was deeply troubled in her marriage with Prince Charles. In the interview, she opened up about being emotionally neglected and feeling unloved by her husband. She also discussed being physically and emotionally abused while living in the palace. This included verbal abuse from Prince Philip during one of their visits at Balmoral Castle. These interviews further exposed the brokenness of Diana and Charles's marriage. The royal family's handling of Diana's mental health issues was far from perfect. In fact, many people believe they actively enabled her depression and anxiety by ignoring it. Despite their wealth and power, the royals chose to remain silent about Diana's struggles, which only served to further isolate her and make her feel even more alone in her suffering. Rest in peace. Number 4, public reaction. King Charles' second wife, Camilla, is unlikely to be forgiven for her role in the breakdown of the Wales marriage because of Diana's legacy, which has won her a new generation of admirers. In the early 90s, when Charles appeared to confirm rumors that he had been having an affair during an interview with Jonathan Dimbleby in 1994, Camilla became a person of interest to the British press. Charles stated that Camilla had been a friend for a very long time and will continue to be a friend for a very long time, following a conversation about her. The sovereign conceded to being dedicated to Diana just until his marriage had hopelessly separated. 3, cash in and leave. After Diana's passing in 97, one of her closest friends said that she believed Camilla was in it for the money and would eventually leave Prince Charles. This foreshadowed what would eventually happen in the summer of 92 when Camilla and Charles announced they were separating. The separation caused a huge scandal in the royal family as well as among Diana's fans worldwide. After their split, both Camilla and Charles continued to make headlines, and in 1995, Camilla married Andrew Parker Bowles and became a stepmother to his 2 children from a previous marriage. She also began working with charities like Centerpoint, which helps homeless young people across the United Kingdom. Charles then married longtime companion and future queen consort Camilla in April 2005. Number 2, other royals. Camilla was viewed negatively by the royals, but Diana was received with open arms. Charles has always treated Camilla, who was Charles's age at the time, as an equal rather than an idol from the beginning. However, Camilla was not wanted by the royal family as their princess. For one thing, she was thought to be an experienced woman, which made her a no-go for the royal family when it came to finding Prince Charles a wife. In addition, she was not thought to be sufficiently aristocratic to be a princess. On the other hand, the royal family adored Diana. Diana was thought to be a good match for Charles by the queen, and did a great job of modeling what she thought it would be like to be a princess and worked extremely hard to gain respect. And finally, number 1, manipulating British media. Diana believed that Camilla was using her position to manipulate the British media and warned Prince Harry not to get too close to her. She stated multiple times in interviews and books that she thought Camilla was taking advantage of her position and warned the public not to be fooled by her. This is Diana's legacy, a warning about Camilla, one that still stands true today. Her words have become a call to remember that even royalty must be held accountable for their actions. Number 10, the royal affair. This one is no big secret. The Princess of Wales was very much aware of Charles cheating on her with Camilla. His mistress at the time was regarded as a villain long before Princess Diana and Charles filed for divorce. Additionally, she was resented up until the Princess of Wales' untimely passing in 1997. However, Camilla's life truly changed in the days following that tragic incident. The Duchess of Cornwall was not specifically held accountable for Princess Diana's misfortune. After Diana's passing in a Paris car accident, they did, however, discover a newfound hatred for her greatest foe. Because of that hatred, Camilla had to hide for months as the situation escalated. But I guess it was worth her relationship with Charles, right? If Camilla had never gotten herself in this mess with Charles, being one of the most hated royals would have never been something she'd have to worry about. But it makes you question, if he cheated on Diana, who knows if he's cheated on Camilla and was able to successfully hide it from her, even though he failed to do so from Diana. Number 9, the palace staff. Even Prince Charles's cleaning staff once kept his affair with Camilla a secret from Princess Diana. So we know his staff really does ride for him. Or at the very least, they try to. The Prince of Wales' affair with the Duchess of Cornwall, which occurred while Charles was married to Princess Diana, as we all know, is well known to everyone. It is safe to assume that some members of the royal family are dissatisfied with the fact that their affair is getting screen time on Netflix's The Crown, making it by far one of the biggest royal relationship scandals. In a well-known interview with News of the World in 1995, the prince's valet Ken Stronach shared shocking details about Charles's affair. He was even fired because of his breach of confidentiality. Stronach claimed at the time that he scrubbed grass stains from Charles's pajamas after the prince would sneak out of bed in the middle of the night to meet with Camilla. Charles even made sure his staff made his bed look like he had slept there by ruffling it up. It was very elaborate, but no one was fooled. The valet claimed that he had become ill as a result of the strain of keeping Charles's secrets. He stated to the newspaper at the time, "We've all been told not to speak to anyone about anything throughout his time with Charles. I became extremely ill as a result of the strain of keeping his secrets." Even though Prince Charles has admitted to the affair and married Camilla, it's clear that the firm still doesn't like to talk about this royal stuff. Jealousy. During his marriage to Princess Diana, he had his first significant encounter with disapproving public opinion. Archival footage of the couple touring Australia in the new HBO documentary The Princess suggests that he was jealous of how much more popular she was. Diana confirmed that Charles envied the public's devotion to his wife in her explosive '95 interview with BBC's Martin Bashir. "The pressure on us both as a couple with the media was phenomenal and misunderstood by a great many people. We'd be going around Australia, for instance, and all you could hear was, 'Oh, she's on the other side.'" Diana subsequently clarified that the waiting crowds were expressing their disappointment that Charles was closer to them rather than Diana. I would be disappointed too. Who wouldn't want to see the people's princess? Considering at the time Charles was a future king, the fragile ego is a toxic trait, Charles. And who's to say he isn't like that towards Camilla? On to number 7, backlash. Charles's troubled past has been exposed numerous times now that he is king. He was accused of trying to get the British government to do something. A senior member of parliament dubbed Charles Britain's best informed lobbyist after it was revealed in 2015 that he had received secret documents about the British government's inner workings not even elected ministers had seen. The royal engaged in personal lobbying efforts to senior politicians about a variety of topics, including illegal fishing of the Patagonian toothfish and orders of military helicopters during the Iraq War. According to 27 memos that were provided to The Guardian and dubbed the Black Spider memos due to Charles's scrawl. Clarence House stated at the time that it is typical for heirs to the throne to be briefed on political topics. However, critics argued that members of the royal family should avoid politics. King Charles's political activism raises the question of whether he'll be a political outspoken monarch. According to University of Chicago historian James Vaughn, who spoke to Politico, the question mark would be, would he try to use his role in the unwritten constitution to influence the British government's policies? And thinking more than his mother probably ever wanted to. Number 6, the royal family versus Camilla. Even though Charles and Camilla's relationship was very serious, Camilla was still viewed negatively by the royals. For one thing, she was thought to be an experienced woman, which made her a no-go for the royal family when it came to finding Prince Charles a wife. In addition, she was not thought to be sufficiently aristocratic to be a princess. It is no secret that Diana's 2 sons never truly accepted Camilla once Charles brought her into the family, and although William might be less vocal about his opinion on her, especially as a future king, Prince Harry never held back his feelings about the queen consort. As the notorious 3rd member of Princess Diana and then Prince Charles's marriage, she faces criticism constantly, resembling the evil stepmother from fairy tales. In Memoir Spare, Prince Harry says that she was trying to get rid of her other women reputation and be seen as a legitimate royal wife by bargaining with the British tabloid media at his expense. That's some tea if I've ever seen some. Harry explained that after marrying Prince Charles in 2005, Camilla sought a revamp and was dubbed the villain by the British press. Because of the connections she was making within the British press that made her dangerous, he stated. Additionally, there was an unmistakable willingness on both sides to give information. Given that she was on her way to becoming queen consort and that she came from a family that was structured in a hierarchical manner, there were bound to be people or bodies discarded in the open. Number 5, revealing the big secret. Charles and Camilla probably would have married much earlier if Diana had survived and gotten married as expected. Instead, for a number of years, they kept their relationship under wraps and out of the public eye. In 2004, the Prince of Wales tied the knot with his longtime partner. She chose not to style her name as Princess of Wales, Diana's former title, even though she technically could have done so. Number 4, confrontation. Princess Diana felt that she had to give her husband's mistress a piece of her mind after being advised by friends to ignore suspicions of an affair between her husband and Camilla. Diana told Camilla boldly, "I'd just like you to know that I know exactly what is going on." Despite the Princess of Wales' claim that she was terrified of Camilla. I feel like in an alternate universe they could have been besties if it wasn't for Prince Charles. But anyway, by claiming that she had no idea what Diana was talking about, Camilla attempted to refute the allegation. Diana recalled Camilla saying that she had all the men in the world and everything she could ever want. Diana replied to Camilla, "I want my husband," when she was asked what else she could want. That's deep, that's deep. Number 3, unfit for the King of England. Prince Charles and Camilla first met in the 70s. The prince fell in love right away after they were introduced by friends. Penninger, a royal biographer, wrote in The Duchess was not in any way overawed by him, not fawning or sycophantic, according to Camilla. Even though they shared a strong bond, Camilla accepted that proposal from her on and off boyfriend, Andrew, after the prince was sent off with the Royal Navy in 1973. Even if things had turned out well for the two of them, the palace didn't think Camilla would make a good fit for the king. She did not come from an aristocratic family, which was very important back then. Number 2, Diana's mental health. After learning about the tragic ending of Diana and Charles's marriage, we find out how much his unfaithful and negligent actions impacted Diana's mental health. He clearly has narcissistic tendencies to the point where it became detrimental to Diana's health while she was alive. Who's to say he hasn't repeated that sort of behavior around Camilla? Or who knows if she ever wondered how much Diana was suffering because of him and whether he would be like that with her. I mean, clearly they're still seemingly happily married, so that doesn't seem like much of a problem, but what do you think? And finally, number 1, not the Queen's choice. It is not a secret that the extramarital affair between Charles and Camilla rocked the crown to its foundation and put the final nail in the coffin of Princess Diana and Prince Charles' strained marriage. Queen Elizabeth was furious more than anyone else. Even the Duchess was not allowed to enter the palace for some time. In point of fact, she only had a meeting with the Queen in the year 2000 because the late monarch had refused to meet her before then. However, the Queen did say they have overcome Becker's Brook and the chair and all kinds of other terrible obstacles at the reception for the Duchess and Prince. They have prevailed, and I am extremely proud of them and wish them well. My son is at home with the person he loves. Anyway, that's enough for that juicy relationship. Let me know what your thoughts are on them and what other red flags and toxic traits you think King Charles has. But anyway, catch you next time on The Rich Life.